Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Empire of Japan playthrough on the Dreadnought Improvement Project mod for Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. I'm the Shipyard, and last time we started work on our fleet. It's not a big fleet, but it'll have to do for now since our budget is shoestring. But it'll be fine. I don't intend to get into any wars very early on. And if I do get into war, I will fight like a rabid dog to stay alive. Um, you might have noticed that the numbers have gone up in the bottom right corner. That's because we are now using a new version of the Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought Improvement Project mod, which released just today. Thankfully, it's safe to go over my original file since it had just started. And there is now, apparently there is a function to retire ships. I think that means like a museum ship. So I don't know exactly how that works. But let's see if I can figure that out, because that's actually really interesting to me. It's because of all the hull defects. That is a lot of defects, goodness gracious. Sometimes I think the whole flaws mechanic in this game is kind of overkill. If you get what I mean. If you've played this game before, you probably know what I mean. The amount of flaws is staggering. Like, not a single one of my ships has no flaws. All of them have a lot of flaws, actually. Let's see here. I put all my ships into limited, so that gives me a little bit extra budget to work with. Let's see if I can build up my... See if I can get my research budget up just a bit more. I'll be happy once this hits 200%, because then I can lower this back down to neutral. Anyways, I don't know how the retirement mechanic works, but I'll figure that out eventually, I guess. So yeah, let's get started. I will probably cut away at some point if nothing interesting happens, and then come back when something interesting does happen. So... yeah, I guess I'll come back when something interesting happens. Now, this is interesting. I had read in the changelogs for Dreadnought Improvement Project that they had split up gun development into 5 different sections. I didn't realize that was literally. We now have small guns, which seems to be 2 to 5 inch. Medium guns, which seems to be 6 to 8. Large, which seems to be 9 to 12. 13, very large is 13 so far. And I'd say probably 13 to 16. And extremely large seems to be 17 to 20. Yeah, that sounds about right. That is very interesting. Very interesting. Especially since it seems like I'll have access to 17-inch guns before 1900. Let's see. I think I will definitely want Mark II 9-inch guns. Definitely something to have. Mark II 2-inch guns, definitely also great. Mark II 6-inch guns, perfect. I want those. I want better torpedoes. And I definitely want better engines and boilers. Also better controls. There's a lot of things I want, but popping priorities tends to make things go a lot slower for other things. So I don't think I'll be popping any priorities right now. Let's see here. My monthly balance keeps going up. I now have 100% tech budget. That's actually really good. Let's see. What government is Japan under at this point? I mean, I know it's an empire, but constitutional monarchy, nationalist party, the GDP growth, negative modifier, is not great. I prefer the right-wing party because objectively, like in base game, objectively, the right-wing party is the best. And I'm not talking about real life. Do not misconstrue any of this. But in game, that party gives the best benefits. At least it doesn't have negative GDP growth. I don't know if that's true for Dreadnought Improvement Project. But in base game and naval arms race mod, the right-wing party tends to have a positive GDP growth and province income, which is really powerful. Nationalist Party in base game and naval arms race is outright the worst party you could have, as far as I can tell. When I tried to play Spain sometimes, it was a nightmare. Anyways, I guess I will cut again and come back when something interesting happens. See you later. Oh, here's something interesting. During the latest sailing regatta, British Empire's Prime Minister participated with his boat, but he had a small accident that caused him to fall into some water. Some journalists found the opportunity to ask you about this incident. And this is another thing that Brother Monroe's had reworked in his mod, is outcomes from these decisions. And I think this is a new one, actually. Or at least one that didn't show up in the base game. And so obviously we don't want to get into a war with the British Empire right now, so we're going to go with the top option. Sailing is a complex and challenging sport, so these things can happen. We can offer our medical facilities so that he can recover fast. I don't understand how hoping that the Prime Minister is not hurt would sour relations with the British Empire. That doesn't make too much sense to me. Like, I understand how this much more graceful response would improve things. But I don't understand how this would hurt things. No, I understand how this one would hurt things. It's not the best to insult the British Prime Minister. So we'll go with the top option. Oh, Russian Empire. Mikhail Smirnov was warned for his excessive naval expenditures. See, that's another Austro-Hungarians. Austro-Hungarian Empire warned their head of admiralty, Siegfried Popper von Romako. 300-ton torpedo boats. Coincidence 1 rangefinder, huh? Already? Wow. That's surprising. I wonder, can I build? I cannot. I don't got that kind of money. I'm broke. Broke, I say. Alright. I will come back if anything interesting happens. See you when I come back. Alright, looks like all of our torpedo boats are commissioning up now. That'll be less of a strain on our finances once they're commissioned up, I think. Let's see now. Indeed, it was less of a strain. That, an almost $1.5 million monthly balance increase. That's pretty good. And our naval funds keep going up and up and up. Pretty soon we'll pass 50 million. That'll be nice. Alright, let's see what we can build now. I'm thinking of building some more heavy cruisers, armored cruisers, I guess, for this era. Yeah, let's build another Mogami and put that with the Fuji in Tokyo. think then I'll want to build another Fuji. Put that in Nampo. I'll name this one the Yashima, since that was the real-life sister ship of the Fuji. That puts us about 1,000,000 negative, which should be fine. We can take the hit. Also, not yet, not yet. Alright. Monthly balance didn't go up as much as I thought it would. A famous traveler from Russian Empire made a flight over our territories with a hot air balloon. What do you say about this? It was an act of spying and enemy reconnaissance. No, no, no. Congratulations for the achievement. I'll probably go with that. A great example for why our country needs to develop its own balloons for traveling and military purposes. Yeah, that's not really worth it. Let's just go with middle option. Alright. Just 2 months left on our second protected cruiser, Kitakami. At a press conference, a journalist asked if you consider Russian Empire as a possible enemy for the future. What is your answer? Consider Russian Empire a potential adversary? Probably not. We are ready to fight with any... Wow. I'll just go with the bottom option. I'm not ready to fight a war. 3,500 ton light cruiser. New hulls available. Interesting, interesting. Alright, I am going to come back only when something truly, truly major has happened or if a few years have passed. Alright. I will come back later. Okay, I am back. Because this is just a terrible position to be in. Military awareness is spreading across the world. The government wishes to demonstrate our power by conducting naval exercises close to Kingdom of Portugal's waters. What is your opinion? So, all of these options are bad. Every single one of them. You fully agree with the government is basically war with Portugal. You gain some naval prestige and lose unrest, but you also lose, like, nearly 2 million naval funds, which I could take that hit, but I don't want to go to war. You advise to act more carefully and not provoke Kingdom of Portugal. You lose 10 naval prestige and 10 relations with Kingdom of Portugal, which is manageable. I can manage that. And then this option is really bad. The fleet needs more money and time to become ready for offensive maneuvers. In this case, you lose 50 naval prestige, gain 5 unrest, and you still lose relations with Kingdom of Portugal. But you do gain 2 million naval funds. I think I will go with the middle option because that's a manageable loss of naval prestige. I don't want to go to war. Even though, to be completely honest, it is a war I could probably win. I could probably take Timor off of them, but I'm going to choose the middle option for now. Chinese empires warned Dulin. And mechanical armor forging. A gun cotton. Ooh, that's good. That's good to have. Line sweeping wires. Let's take a look. I've popped priorities on engines, armor quality, and medium guns because I really want those. If I did go to war with Portugal, it's also not very feasible because their main stuff is so far away. The only thing we could really reach is Timor. Because it really would not be worth it to take Mozambique or Angola or anything that's far from home because we just don't have the fleet to defend it. We've only got 17 ships. We'll have 19 once our other ships are built, but still, that's not a lot. Six months on the Maya and 8 months on the Yashima. Okay. Almost 200% on the transport capacity, so that's nice. Alright. I will come back if something interesting happens. I'll see you later. Now, here's something interesting. I do want to go to war with the Spanish Empire, actually, because they have some valuable holdings that I want. So I think I'll choose this middle option. Yeah. Let's see, how are the Spanish looking, actually, if I can find them. Let's see. They've only got 33 ships, and 12 of them are heavy cruisers, 21 light cruisers. They've got no battleships, but I do. And they can't protect their entire empire. They're already got some pretty high unrest, pretty low naval prestige. Naval technology's average. See how ours... We're doing average. That's fine. Mainly what I want is the West Philippines and the East Philippines. Because sooner or later, oil's going to be discovered on those two islands. Probably also going to take Caroline Islands, Guam, Northern Marianas. Try and take those. If I could get a war with the Netherlands, that would be nice. That would be really nice. But they don't seem to really dislike me, so I'm not going to push that. GDP is currently 12 million, which puts us higher than Portugal. Close to Italy, close to the Byzantines, close to Austro-Hungarians, above the Scandinavians, close to the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Yeah, we're on pretty good footing. We're not the least, we don't have the lowest economy in the world, that's for sure. So, yeah. My plan, if a war hasn't started before 1895, is to just give my ships a refit in 1895, design some new ones with the technology I've unlocked, and see how that... Oh! Germany and the Kingdom of Portugal have gone to war. Of course, that puts us at odds with the Kingdom of Portugal. Actually, raises our relationship with the German Empire, which I like. I like that. Well, let's see how that goes from here, because usually when one war starts, a million others start. Yeah, see? Italians are about to go to war with Portugal and the United States, and they don't especially like us, which I'm not sure how that works. We're halfway around the world from them. But okay, I guess. We are building more shipyard size. So we'll no longer be limited to 11,000 tons. Oh, man. So, yeah. If nothing interesting happens, then I'll see y'all in 18... Oh, British and the Germans are going to war. That puts us at odds with the Germans, because the British like us. Oh, that puts us even more at odds with the Germans, because they're going to war with Russia. Is World War I kicking off right now in 1892? Oh, Lord. Italians and Portugal, I knew that would happen. Puts us even more at odds with the Italians, which I don't like. So let's see how things are looking right now. The Italians, the Germans, the Austro-Hungarians, Spanish, Chinese, Portuguese, and the Byzantines don't like us. The British like us. The French, the United States, the Russians, they kind of like us. The Netherlands like us. And the Scandinavians couldn't care less. Alright. Research is going well. About 60% done with our shipyard building. Alright. Let's see what wars get started on this next turn, because I'm certain there will be. Ooh, secondary double turrets for capital ships. That's nice. I don't really have a use for it right now, but... No wars, but a lot of battles are occurring. Oh, the British are naval invading Germany. Are they invading Helgoland? I think they're invading Helgoland. Or are they... Where are they invading? I can't even tell, really. The Russians are invading Prussia, it looks like. The Germans are attacking the Portuguese on land. They don't seem to be making much progress, except in Angola they've got little progress. Alright. If I did go to war with the British, I could snap up Malaya, Singapore, Sarawak, especially Brunei and North Borneo. When these areas get oil, it's nice stuff. And that's one thing we lack is oil. So let's see what happens next turn. January 1893. What is going to happen? Nothing really interesting. At least, not interesting to me. But that's fine. So I suppose I will cut here until something interesting happens. I'll let you know when something interesting happens. Okay, well, looks like the Chinese want to go to war with us. Serious incident has occurred which involves Chinese Empire. One of their profound politicians was assassinated in cold blood, and their government accuses us of being behind it. They ask for humiliating concessions to forget the matter. How should we respond? I could afford to avoid war, but I don't want to avoid war. What if I want to fight them? Yeah, let's scrap. And hopefully that didn't start any other wars with them. Because I don't want to go to war with anyone else. Let's see, who does that put us at odds with? The Italians, they don't like us. Let's try and get a little more friendly with them. And I'll want to... Oh. 1 battleship, 1 heavy cruiser, and 2 torpedo boats. Against 4 battleships, 9 heavy cruisers, and 15 light cruisers. That is not good. Oh, I did not think this through. They have... Oh, that's basically their whole fleet. No, that is their whole fleet. Oh no. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. This is well, actually no. I'll save that for the next episode because this is already a pretty long episode that I'm going to have to edit. So I will see you in the next video where we take on the Empire of China. Goodbye.